It's the Spotter Stand Live, starring BSR Pockets, BSR Hot Rod, BSR Momo, BSR Jova, BSR Scar, BSR SR5, Eddie D, featuring BSR Wings, Bola J, Vince Conway, BSR Rugrat, Gear, Big Vito, Palmion, Randy Sewing, musical guest, BSR Mayhem, and your host, BSR Texan.
That's one of them ones where he never even lifted it all when it was through the corner.
BSR Texan.
Texan's back.
Yes, welcome once again to the Spotter Stand in our traditional talking over the intro.
Hell, I didn't know he went live.
I told you guys I was going live.
Yes, I was double checking. I was double checking the discussion that we were having about Eldora. We ran last year's Eldora race in the chase with no cautions because we had no cautions, and there's no way we made it through a dirt race without a caution. You
So I
just know
guess
yourself. You just know yourself. That's like that would be impossible. I think.
you think 100% sure.
Yeah, we had
I
Eli,
trust you.
Burko, everybody.
I
was with it.
trust you. I believe you. So as you guys
Thank
can
God we're live.
can figure, just before we went live here, we were discussing the upcoming chase in the truck series, which will be starting this Wednesday night at Kentucky. We run Kentucky DXV09. Will be the track we'll be running this week, but the following week will be Eldora.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
not the
no.
following week, but the next chase race will be Eldora.
That's correct. I believe that is 2 weeks away.
Yes, it will be July 29th. So there will be Kentucky this week, 2 weeks off from the truck chase, and right back to it at Eldora in the dirt. And since there are some, we'll say, technical issues with that track, Eldora, due to getting damaged,
dirt.
just driving around the track, you can get damaged. Going from the pits onto the track, you can get damage. We will be running with the damage off when we come to Eldora in the truck series, just to make it fair and even for everybody. And there's maybe a little issue with the cautions coming out with cars or trucks being a little bit sideways in the corner in front of other cars. So we'll also be running with cautions off. What we're going to do is just like we do in our normal dirt races, we will have gentlemen's cautions. I'm assuming, fellas, since it's going to be gentlemen's cautions, self-spin doesn't necessarily bring out a caution.
Bring out a caution. That's correct. Yeah.
There must be contact between two vehicles.
Correct. And if you're losing your car, and even if you save it, if a guy brushed you, that's still contact. That's a caution. Especially because it's a truck event, not a dirt race. Where in the dirts, that's not necessarily a caution just because of a slight contact. But in the truck, it will be.
So most of us have run on Wednesday night in the dirt series, and we're all familiar with how the gentleman's cautions work. There are a few drivers that have recently started with us that may not have run a dirt series track yet, and the way we do that is we just call out the caution. Anybody who was involved in the wreck or happened to see it just calls out caution, and everybody does slow down. Do not race back unless it's under 10 to go. Then we will allow, once everybody gets caught up, has pit stops. We'll allow pit stops under those cautions, just like a normal caution. And once everybody's back out and up, the leader counts us down 3, 2, 1, and we go right back to racing. One advantage to having these kind of cautions is you're not out there normally for 2 or 3 or 4 laps under caution. It's usually a 1-lap caution, 2 laps tops, to get everybody pitted and back up with the field. So
Yes, and that way, if you're a lap down, you just pit first time by if you're going to pit.
right, and if you're the lucky dog, you can just drive on around.
Round. Yes, that's correct. No clearing black flags on that race. Or giving laps back. I mean, yeah, shouldn't get any black flags. If you get a black flag in that race, you need to serve it because.
Yeah, you shouldn't be passing anybody on the restart.
Yeah, because there is no restart.
Only black flag will be speeding in the pits.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, unless you get the only
Or
black flag that
passing
will
going
get
in.
cleared is if you get knocked onto pit road at no fault of your own, and you get a black flag. That's the only way black flag will get cleared.
Or if you do speed in the pits, say under caution, in that case, you go to the end of the longest line and we'll clear that so you don't have to go back in and serve it while everybody else is racing.
I would advise not to speed on pit road because the black flag may be servable, even under them conditions. It depends when we go green. Because if we're at the line and we're going green and they're yelling, it's pretty hard to give a black flag back on that track. There's not much straightaway.
Well, I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yes, just hopefully nobody will speed on pit road and we won't have to worry about that.
Right. So we did not have a race this past Wednesday night in the trucks, but I still think we ought to go ahead and visit our chase schedule here and take a look at what tracks we have got coming up in this chase. So we do start this Wednesday night with Kentucky. First race of the chase, truck chase starting already, while these other 2 series have not even made it halfway through their second segment. The truck chase is getting ready to get underway. Then we will have a 2-week break. July 29th will be at Eldora. And it looks like the following week, August 5th, we will be at Michigan. Then it looks like there's another break there. And then we'll go to Gateway Night for race number 4. It looks like there's another 2-week break after Gateway. And we will move to a road course, Canadian Tire. That's also known as Mosport, is it not?
Yes.
Yes, Mosport, road course. Race number 5 of the truck chase. Then there will be another week off as we move into Bristol for race number 6. Then we're going to have no week off after that one, looks like, right into the next race at Las Vegas, week number 7. And again, no break. And move on to Talladega for race number 8. After that, it looks like there's about a 3-week break.
Yep.
Before we move into Martinsville for race number 9. And the chase finishes up November 4th. Same track they're all going to finish up at this year. Phoenix 2011, race number 10 of the truck chase. So there is your truck chase schedule. Quite a few breaks in the middle of those 10 races, several weeks off, and it will end up the same time the rest of the seasons end up.
Except for the dirt. The dirt goes one more week after that.
Yes, and during all of those breaks, like the 2-week break between Kentucky and Eldora, we will be racing in the dirt on Wednesday nights. So those, be looking forward to some more dirt track racing coming up. We haven't had much dirt. It's been, a month or more since we've had a dirt race?
Yes, and we now run every Wednesday night from now to the end of the year. Either dirt or the truck chase.
So we did have a race However, on Thursday night Cup Series, let's go over and take a look at segment 2, Thursday night Cup Series. We are now 6 races in to
6. This week will be
segment 2.
7.
Yes, 6 races. We just ran at Indianapolis this week. Great racing at Indy both nights, Thursday and Friday night. We had some great racing in both of these races. Looks like I took the pole on Thursday night, but it was Mike Coulong pulling down another victory in this Cup Series. I believe that makes 3 victories for Mike now in the Cup Series since he started racing with us. So he's coming on pretty strong. He's taking some wins, getting some bonus points, had some great racing here in these last few weeks. So congrats.
He got two in this segment.
Yeah, he won Chicagoland. As you can see up there, just 2 races ago, and then won again this past Thursday at Indianapolis. Let's go take a look at our full race results from Thursday night's Cup race.
Yes, good win to Mike. Texan got second, also led the most laps. Gear with a great run, finishes 3rd. Momo 4th. And Sean rounds out the top. Sean Preggers rounds out the top 5.
Hey, Gear had a great car Thursday night. That was one of those races where he kind of, just laid back there and raced his race until the end. He started really coming on strong toward the end of this race and had a great race, great car, and a good run. Great job, Gear. And Mike Coulong, once again, congrats on the victory out there. If you're out there listening, or you come back and listen later, good job, man. Another bonus point earned towards your Cup chase. We're coming up on Kentucky this week. It's going to be some fun racing. Let's go take a look at her. Go ahead.
If you're out there listening and you haven't said anything, or if you come back in and watch it later, I'm just going to say, what's up? Why would you watch it later? I got to be here.
Like
I don't actually have to be here. Good win, Mike. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, boy.
So let's go to the points. Thursday night Cup Series. I do have a 25-point lead over Hot Rod. Pockets in 3rd place, down by 26. Looks like Hot Rod just took 2nd place away from Pockets at Indianapolis. Only separated by 1 point.
I think there was only 2 points difference going in.
And Mayhem in 4th, down by 30. Eddie D rounding out the top 5, down by 35. I think everybody back from there has missed at least 1 race so far in this 2nd segment of the Cup Series. Momo's missed a race. He's down by 64. SS also missed 1, down by 66. Mike Coulong, he's missed at least 1. He might have missed 2 races.
He missed 2, I believe. 1 for vacation and 1 for the accident.
That's right.
On the way home from the vacation.
So that means he is 50% on victories right now in segment 2. He showed up to 4 races and won 2 of them.
Yes, he has. Keeping an eye on him.
We might have to get him in the red trailer.
We've got to discuss with him the sharing policy on setups.
Crickets.
Who are y'all sharing?
Mike Coulong.
Yeah.
Somebody asked him for a setup, and he kind of shimmied it off.
Hey.
I know. Yeah, you have a good setup like that. It's tough to give it out.
Yeah, it is, and I'm sure after he's been here a little while and raced for a while, and then he'll probably be glad to share setups a little bit more freely. But when you come into some competition where it's you got to get whatever edge you can to try to get a win. If that's what you got to do, then that's what you got to do.
let me personally say, he has given out setups. He has given a setup to Eddie. He has offered setups to me. It's not like he just that particular setup when he was asked. I don't think he wanted to give that one up. I don't blame him. That was a killer setup.
It's one of those deals where, hey,
You
come
always
see
had
me
that
after
one.
the race.
Yeah, you always had that one setup that you don't want to give away to somebody. You know what I mean? For that one track, for whatever reason, because you're better at it or you like that track better. You know what I mean? I think that's the deal. I know that's what it was with Mike. That's his favorite track. He had a really good setup. You know what I mean? So he just didn't want to hand that one out because he's come in and he's offered Eddie setups when we're in here. Me, Eddie, and him. He's offered Eddie a setup. He's all personally offered me setups. Um, uh, he helps all the time. Any kind of information, like if Eddie would say, "Hey, this is pushing off the corner. What do I do?" He'll sit and explain it to you. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and I mean, it's great to have another good, competitive, really fast driver in the league to step up the competition just a little bit more.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
not only that, but clean, very clean driver. Him and Sean Fredericks both recently started racing. Really, we got to give credit to Sean
Awesome.
for
Yes.
getting him over here to race with us because Sean came race with us for a week or two before Mike did, and both of those guys, great racing, clean racing, and competitive, and yeah, it's great to have both of them over here. So I see Gear Jammer chiming in out here. Damn, I joined the stream to see I'm in 10th in points. That's a kick to the nuts. Well, speaking of nuts, no, I don't see him on the list. I was going to say you're probably ahead of him. Well, you missed a couple races, and that's you're 110 back, so that puts you what 75 points off the fifth top five.
He's only fighting that this is all of that is only for one bonus point. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not
one
that
bonus point to make the
that's
top
not a
five. Yeah.
not really a kick in the nuts. You know what I mean?
Now, and
Yes.
as you'll
Because
see, Gear, when
at the
we
most, at the most you could get would be two there on that list, and that's you ain't getting that away from Texan. We can't wrestle that out of his hands. Not know how. So
well, and like I was going to say, you'll see when we get to the bonus points segment that you're not going to be that far off going into the chase. You're
hell,
going to be ahead of
hell,
quite a few people.
hell no, he's ahead of me for crying out loud.
And I don't know if you got here in time to hear us talking about the great run you had at Indy, but you did have a great run at Indy with that third place finish on Thursday night. And your racing has definitely stepped up. Let me knock on wood for you. I hope that I'm not jinxing you because I know you've had some rough times early in the season and had a lot of bad luck. And it looks like that luck has turned around a little bit. You've been having some great races and had some good fast cars and, been able to finish with some good solid finishes here lately. So hopefully that carries right on through to the chase and you'll have a lot of fun these last 10 races when we get to them.
Yes, hopefully the feast and famine is done.
Let's go back over to the schedule here and let's take a look at Friday night's Xfinity Series race. Also ran at Indianapolis. Was Momo dominating this race. Momo with the pole and Momo once again with the victory. Momo had a great car on Friday night, and it was him and Mike Coulong battling for that win on Friday night, and Momo able to get up there in the lead and hold that top spot for the last few laps to take that victory at Indianapolis. So great job, Momo. Momo hadn't been here for a lot of the Friday night races so far. He's been trying to focus mostly on the Cup Series Thursday night. But he did show up here, and I believe this was his first victory in the Friday night series with the low attendance that he's had. He's just now put his name in the win a race box to pick up a bonus point towards his chase. So great job, Momo. Great racing on Friday night, and congrats on the win. Let's go take a look at the results from Friday night's Xfinity race at Indy.
Yeah. Yes, great win, Momo. Mike Coulomb with another good run, finishes second, Texan third, Pockets fourth, and Joba rounds out top five.
Texan. Canadian.
Yeah, the Canadian.
and look at, I was just fixing to say Pockets, fourth place, top five. I believe I had to run you. I ran you down and passed you in those last few laps to take that third place spot.
That tore up ass car you had too. That was a little
Well, I did.
hard to swallow.
We had a caution, and what we went green with the 3 laps to go. Was it? I believe it was 3 laps to go. I went in the pits and I put on 75 tape, so my car was damaged. It was a little off on the top end, but that 75 tape kind of helped give me that little bit of edge that I needed. I'm just lucky it didn't blow up on me.
I didn't do anything to my car. My car had been running great. It was very drivable, very competitive, so I wasn't going to try to push the envelope and knock myself out of it there.
Well, you had a pretty good run.
Something of my own. I had a rough week at Indy. I really did, because Indy's one of those tracks that I used to hate that I really enjoy now, because I changed a couple of the things that I normally do, and it really. But man, you got to be up on that wheel. You got to race every corner of that track, and no distractions. No, you got to be on point. I mean, what was it, Wednesday night? Well, I had such a terrible finish because I drove that I drove that car down into a corner in an area on the track that I haven't driven the whole race, and I lost it down there. So that's how tricky that track is. But like I said, that is one of those tracks that I used to not care for at all, and now I really enjoy going there, and I've had a little bit of success there.
Well, I just also want to throw it out there. We did only have 2 cautions in that race.
That's exactly one of the things I was just looking at. These stats down here at the bottom. You see, there were only 2 cautions for 8 laps, which means we had a lot of green flag pit stops in this race. And not only that, if you look, there were a total of 9 lead changes. Only 3 drivers led a lap here at Indy. In Pockets, you were one of them. You did lead a lap at Indy on Friday night. All the rest of the laps were led by Momo and Mike Coulomb. And that's it. Only 3 drivers to lead on Friday night.
And I didn't lady lap that. I got it on pit road.
I shot myself in the foot on that one.
Easy to do there.
Yeah, I'm really lucky I finished where I did, because the caution did not come out in the incident that I was involved in. And you are very lucky. I was down by half a track and losing time to the leaders every lap. And I just got lucky that a caution did finally come out, and I was able to get up there and get my damage actually fixed. It was still just a little bit off, but it was definitely better. And that's the only reason I was able to finish where I did.
That's the caution that shot me in the foot.
But even once I got past Pockets, even with that 75 tape, I didn't have anything for Momo and Mike Coulomb. I think I had about a lap and a half or so after that, and I was only a half a second behind them. I couldn't really gain. I couldn't gain anything on them, couldn't draft up to them, and they were running each other pretty hard. So that, it was a great race.
I think that was a lot of your damage, though, Gilla. Because before that, I stayed with them that whole first run until the caution came out. They couldn't get away. I don't think I could have passed them, but they couldn't get away. You know what I mean? I believe your setup was better than mine.
If you look at those top 3, those little lines right below the results there, it looks like the top three all finished where they started.
I started. Yes,
Yep.
they did.
So let's go over to the points here. Take a look at the Xfinity Series points as they stand right now. It is myself in the lead by only 14 points over BSR Pockets. Hot Rod tied for third place with SS Joba, both of them 23 points back, and Eddie D rounding out the top five down by 34. You've been having a good run all season, Pockets, in this Friday night series. You held the lead in the bonus points for the first half of this first segment or more. You held the lead in the bonus points. I believe you're still in second place in the bonus points, as we'll see when we get over to that here in just a few minutes. But you've been having a pretty good run in this Friday night series this year.
Those, for some reason, those the NXS series just, man, it just fits my driving style so much, and it's not that CTS physics is a lot more forgiving than Cup physics. I mean, Cup physics is, you can't really, you know what I mean? And we talk about that all the time. That we go to tracks and these companion races in these other series. Well, we may race 2 CTS physics races, but only 1 Cup. You know as well as I do that it's a different world when you get in one of those higher horsepower Cup cars. It just is.
Oh yeah, it's looser. It's completely different. The tire wear is different. Everything.
The tire wear,
Yeah.
yes, you really got to, and you've got to plan for that tire wear. That comes into the strategy, the how you approach the race, depending on each track. Each track has its own degree of wear, and you got to figure. It comes into things like strategy of pitting early, like Momo always does, or staying out and trying to go on fuel mileage and trying to save the tire, because a lot of those tracks, if you don't literally slow down to save the tire, you can't make a full fuel run. So if you're planning on running the fuel mileage strategy, you got to be weary and keep a mind on your tires to be able to pull that strategy off. So Cup and in truck, you don't really have a lot of that. You have to just worry about getting tires when you pit, and most times you're going to make a full fuel run depending on the track, but most of them you still can. So it's just it's just 2 different things. You know what I mean? Each one of them present their own challenges and strategies, and for some reason, I seem to do a little bit better in the NXS series. And plus, it's Friday night. Maybe I'm in a good mood on Friday night.
Oh, I'm not going to bring it up, or Texan, but the first race of the season could have made a big shuffle in the stand.
Oh, he just brought it up.
I was going to say, don't bring it up. I'm just bringing it up.
You're right. That would have been a victory for you. Probably a third place finish for Pockets. Which would have given you about another 4 or 5 points over him. I think he would still be in second at this point. You would probably be more like 19 back, 18 back, something like that. Pockets would be, I don't know. You might be tied. It might flip flop it because it'd take the win points away from Pockets, plus the lead lap points away. That it might take four points for that, plus the 2 spots. It was 6 points that he would.
That's exactly what I lost the Pockets in that race, was 6 points.
Yeah, and it would have been reversed.
That's the other thing. See, that I could tell Gear's looking over there at that section where if you finish number 1 in the points, you get 1 bonus point. You can cancel that out by winning a race. There's your bonus point right there. It ain't gonna make a damn if you're in 10th place because you won a race, and that's the bonus. That's the bonus point that you're lacking, and there's other bonus points out there that you can acquire. You just got to win the race.
His win's coming, and it's going to be before the chase, I believe. And at least one of these two, the Cup or the NXS.
Well, just like that win that I got, guess where I was at right before the fiasco?
Like fifth?
Third.
Third.
He was in third.
Gear finished third. Let me tell you something. You in the closing laps of these races in third place, that's a pretty damn good place to be because those two front cars always battle as hard as they can in the closing laps.
Yes,
And mistakes have been made. And
especially if you can see them. If you can see them,
yes,
yes,
you're
definitely.
that's you actually probably, I mean, that's
better
a really
spot.
good place to be. That's
Yeah.
it is a good place to be because I got a bonus point from being third, so because I ended up being first.
Well, we got 6 races left. Let's go back and revisit the schedule here. 6 races left in this segment 2 before we head into the chase. Coming up on Kentucky, then New Hampshire,
New Hampshire,
Iowa.
Iowa,
Oh, that's
Florida.
Iowa's everybody's favorite track. Yeah. Then two
Florida.
road courses.
Watkins Glen, and then ended in Dover.
I'm looking forward to Watkins Glen. That's our old standby. That's the oldest road course we run. That in Sonoma, and we've already got Sonoma behind us. And Watkins Glen is just that's it. That's the place where we should all be excited about going to because that's just a old gear jammer. He'll probably be a player at Watkins Glen.
If I remember right, he ran really good at Iowa.
Yeah, and that's
Probably.
most of our. That's not really all of our favorite tracks. That's Iowa's. It's one of those ones that's just different than anywhere else you run at. And if I remember correctly, my setup just got looser and looser. It's kind of tight and loose all at the same time. That's one of those tracks where you'll be tight, and then you're loose. You're tight in the middle of the corner, loose coming off the corner. So anything can happen there. I'm looking forward to Road America. I love that track.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite road course.
Iowa and the truck gear got wrecked out.
String cheese straightaway. I love Road America. I like driving Road America in a real race car, though, not a dump truck.
Well, these Xfinity cars aren't dump trucks.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
Nah.
Compared to an Audi R8, yes, they are a fucking dump truck.
Well, yeah.
But maybe worse than a dump truck.
So let's go over to Saturday night. We did not race this past Saturday night. I hope everybody had a good 4th of July, enjoyed their holiday. We did take the week off this week, Saturday night, for the holiday. And we will be finishing up season 41 at Talladega this coming Saturday night. So
that is the track. That's the track Mr. Big Vito was looking for this whole season, right there.
Yep. Hadn't been able to make. So that means if we're at Talladega, Don won't be there.
Yes, he will. He gets the race this week.
Oh. Because we skipped.
Got pushed and then skipped.
Yep. We skipped. Yep, there we go. Yes, and Gear is good at the Roval. Gear's looking forward to the Roval. I think he stands a pretty good chance there. He probably secretly practices the Roval when he's home by himself.
I'm not even going there.
Secret practicer.
I'm not even going there.
But let me tell you something. If you did practice there, I mean that road courses, the more seat time you get at, the better you are. Well, I suck.
But if we look at this schedule here so far, you can see the Yingling team has won 1, 2, 3, 4 races out of the 10. And it looks like the Mafia has won 2 races. They won the second race at Daytona, then they won race number 5 at Daytona as well. And the Aftershock team has won a total of 3 races. They won Daytona for race number 4. Talladega for race number 6, and they just recently won again race number 9 at Daytona. One race left to go, and let's get a refresher on these standings here. The Yingling is still in the lead, but now it's only 8 points over the Aftershock team, 15 points over Mafia. I don't, mathematically,
You know what's going to happen.
yeah, and the Mafia is going to try to push Aftershock to beat the Yingling team is what's going to happen. Mathematically,
but that means
15
they're going to finish
points.
dead. That means they're going to finish dead last. They don't want to finish dead last. I'm telling you, I know Pockets and Momo. They ain't finishing dead last.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but
A
our,
chance-
our chances. How many points we got to make up?
It doesn't matter. A win is a win, right? And finishing
It does.
eight,
A win is
finish,
yes.
finishing 8 points back is better than finishing 15 points back. Yeah, I mean, if you guys could get the win, even
Yeah,
if,
but how many points we got? If we got the win, would how many points back are we off of
let's
second
see.
place?
we
We
got
can
we
catch
got
second
four
place with a win.
4 cars per team. On average, we usually have about 12 to 13 drivers show up. So let's just say we had the average, say, 12 drivers on Saturday night, and Yingling finished the last 4. That would put our best finisher at 8th place. No, yeah, 9th place. We'd finish 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, so 9th place. So if you got the win and led the most laps, surely we'll manage to lead a lap, but it's possible we didn't. Let's just say we never led a lap. You led a lap, led the most laps. That's 2 points right there, plus the win, plus 8 points. So there's 8 points just for the spots, plus the 2 points for leading a lap, leading the most laps. That's 10 points. And then there's a few points for the win as well. You could make up 12 or so points. I don't think you could make the whole 15, but you could make 12 and finish only about 3 points behind in the best case scenario.
Well, y'all know as well as I do that all of this is going to come down to the closing laps, and we're going to have to look and see what you're going to have to see how this race unfolds and what strategy it presents before you can even speculate about what's the best move or what you should do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, are we going to have a chance to finish in second versus third, or is it going to be? It just all depends on where everybody's at, and you're going to have to do the math while it unfolds.
All I'm going to tell you, Texan, is the last time we ran on Saturday night, Pocket said to Momo, we're not finishing last. That's all I'm saying. I'm just throwing out what Pocket said.
What's up, Jeep mate? No, was I talking about that race?
You were talking about
In the standings.
Yes, absolutely. I know what they were talking about. He can try to cover it up, pretend all he wants. I know what they were talking about.
Well, here's the thing about it is, I mean, if something happens to y'all, yeah. I mean, if that opportunity unfolds and presents itself, we'll weigh it at that time and see what, you know what I mean? Because it's going to constantly be changing. The strategy's going to change. The closer we get to the end, we got to go through the green flag pit stops. We got to go through the cautions. We got to see who's left.
I'm just
all of those
telling-
discussions will be had. You know they will.
Even for the Aftershock team, you know, we're going to have to finish 5th place or worse. And if we finish 5th and they lead the most laps and win the race, they'll either tie or beat us, depending on whether we lead a lap or not. So 5th or 6th place has to be our finish for them to have a shot.
In order for you not to finish last place, you need to start from the beginning and determine that you're going to lead the most laps. Because you're going to need it.
Well, I always try to lead the most laps and win the race in every race because, like I tell people, you still have to figure in the individual side of team racing. You want to get the absolute best finish you can, just like you would in a regular race, but you use your teammates if they can help you accomplish that. Sometimes you have to do it without any help or do it on your own, or you know the deal. I've always told people that you still go into a team race with one mentality: win the fucking race. Because if you win the race, you have done the absolute most you can to help your team.
That's
It
right.
starts there, and
Either
then everything after that is uh discussable, or you know what I mean, is up for discussion.
either win the race or push your teammate to a win if you can.
That's right. And then you know as well as I do, we talk about those things during the closing laps. Who led the most laps? Should we switch lanes? Do we take a chance for the extra point? Yada yada. All those things that you have to, man. Saturday night team series thinking man's game. You got to, you know what I mean. There's a lot of discussion that goes along with that, and a lot of things to consider, and that's one of the reasons why it is what it is.
That's right. Sometimes you have to unpack your briefcase and sit down and make a sales pitch.
Yeah, because that's the only yeah, absolutely. Those sales pitches are paramount because that's the only series you're going to race. That's the only series you're ever going to race where you would intentionally go a lap down
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
slow down. You know what I mean? But that's a real strategy in Saturday night. So
That's why I'm glad I got the salesman Texan on my team.
You know, I'm going to do everything I can to remind everybody of where the points are. Of course, maybe not this week because
I was
I
going to
don't
say, you'll
think
be a little more quiet this
I'll
week
be a
on
little
where
quieter.
everybody's at.
Pretty much everything I'm going to be saying is going to be on our Whisper channel. So.
I know that.
all I got to do is just turn on your YouTube channel. I can hear y'all.
Yeah, but you'll be delayed, so.
But that's okay, Texan. You know I'll be doing the gas pitch like I always do, and freaking tires and what we need to do strategy-wise, like I always do.
But whatever y'all are going to do, you got 30 seconds to do it or I'm going to hear you. I don't listen to you. People listen to mine, though. I think Larry has Trisha over. No, Trisha's on my team, so she wouldn't go for that. It's, you know.
Believe it or not, Pockets, this is the first team series that I haven't been able to hear a word she says, except for like in practice when she's fucking laughing and giggling at you guys.
Well, let's go ahead and go over take a look at our bonus points as they stand. What we got? Something else?
I have helped her out to help you out, though. I will tell you that.
I know.
I know.
I think Donald's afraid to tell me that he's got a temperature. He don't want, or he's trying to find out what's wrong with him. All right, so he's got a stomach bug.
Stomach bug.
The fact that not sleeping. Okay, I'm just checking his temperature. I want to make sure.
You want to make sure he doesn't have that COVID.
I'm trying.
We don't want to get
All right,
contaminated.
They do check him every time he comes on.
All right, so I've got our Truck Series bonus points up here, so everybody can get one more refresher of what it looks like going into the truck chase. So going into race number 1, I have got an 11-point cushion over second place BSR Mayhem and BSR SS Joba. 12 points over BSR Pockets, sitting there with 19 bonus points. Looks like Eddie D and Gear Jammer are both the next up with 16 bonus points. Then you've got Hot Rod with 14. Where is Palmian? Shouldn't he be in there somewhere? 13.
He should have been
13 bonus points. He's got one less point than you. 13.
Oh, I thought he had one more than me, but that's okay. Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. Okay. I got standing for the top 5.
So as we come into Kentucky, you know, Kentucky's one of those tracks that has a decent high groove. And if you get in that high groove and the guy on the low side is kind of forced to lift a little bit in order not to push up. So I expect to see some good side-by-side racing at Kentucky. all 3 nights, all week this week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday night. So Chase is going to start at the end of race number 1. We will be adding these bonus points to everybody's standings, current standings. So remember, you will get one. What's the word I'm looking for, Hot Rod? You will get
Provisional.
you
One
get
provisional.
one provisional in the chase in all 3 of these series, and we're getting ready to start the truck chase. So you can miss one race. If you miss that one race, you will get last place points for that race. You do have to request that provisional. However, it's not just going to be automatically given to you. You got to request it. So one provisional allowed. You can make 9 of the 10 races and still be the champion. Which I believe, didn't that happen last year? Didn't Mayhem miss one race in the Cup chase? Or was it one of the other? It was the truck chase, one of the chases. He missed a race, and he either still won the championship or nearly won the championship after missing a race.
But he missed a Friday night race in the chase, I know for sure. I don't know where he finished on Friday night. Did he finish second in Friday night? I think he did. I think that's the one that he almost won, even though he missed the whole race.
Yeah, so you are allowed to miss one race, and you know, last place points. It's a hit in the points in a 10-race series, but you still can possibly win the chase, missing one race. So,
especially if you get lucky, it's a low attendance race because you get the 1 point less than last place guys. So,
right. Yeah, if you
can
only
end
got
up
nine
finish-
people that show up, you got 10th place points versus 12 people that show up, you got 13th place points. Yeah.
Yep. And them 3 points can make a world of difference, as Texas keeps telling everybody.
Yes, I do, because they do matter. That's why I've given it away last year and even this year, you know, leading a lap in every single race. You know, especially if you're if you're not gonna make every race, and you're probably not necessarily going to be in that top 5 at the end to get that bonus point for the top 5 in the segment. Yeah, maybe not that big of a deal, but if you're going to make every race or almost every race, you know,
That 1 point makes a big deal.
that's right, and especially when you're coming down to something like the chase. We got a 10-race chase. If you lead one lap in every single one of these 10 races, that's 10 points. And believe me, 10 points can make a difference at the end when we come down to that last race. 10 points can make a big difference.
And we both dropped the ball last week, Texan. At Indy.
Yeah. Neither one of us led a lap in that. Only Pockets, Momo, and Mike Coulon led a lap at Indy Friday night. So let's go take a look at Friday night, Xfinity Series bonus points. It was Momo who won the race on Friday night, and that was his first win on Friday night. Like we were saying earlier, he hasn't really been to a whole lot of these Friday night races. Not even enough really to get full bonus points for attendance in segment 1. So you see him sitting over there right now with a total of 4 bonus points in this Xfinity Series. He's got the 1 victory and a few other bonus points for finishes throughout the season. He got 1 at AK Daytona, and it looks like that's it. That 1 bonus point plus 2 races in segment 1 was all Momo made to get the 2 bonus points for attendance. But Pockets, like I was saying earlier, this is the series you've been doing pretty well in. Right now, you are only 5 points off the lead heading into the chase. I've got 26 bonus points. You're sitting in second right now with 21. And SS Joba a few points behind you with 18, sitting in third. So you're 5 points off the lead. SS Joba is 8 points off the lead right now going into the chase. There's a few other drivers that are right behind him. Mayhem with 16 bonus points. Several drivers with 15. You got Gearjammer, Eddie D, and Palmian, all with 15 bonus points right now. Bubba J with 14, and Hot Rod with 13. So this was the night you must have been thinking about, Hot Rod, where Pomian is ahead of you in bonus points at the moment. So is Gear Jammer
Yeah.
and Eddie D.
Yep, on Friday night, which is my best night. Or no, the trucks. No, what are you on? You're on Xfinity, aren't you?
Xfinity, yes, Friday night,
Yeah.
Xfinity.
Yeah, and I've been having better luck in Xfinity than I have anywhere. Well, no, Cup. I've been by far better in Cup than anywhere else, which is kind of unusual.
So we still have 6 races left to go before we head into the chase for this series. So that's 6 more bonus points for victories, and then the segment and full season top 5 bonus points will be added, as well as the attendance for segment 2 bonus points will
God,
be added as well.
6 weeks to the chase.
I think there's an off week in there here, at least one off week that's in there. We've got 7.
Xfinity has an off week.
Yep. So
So 7 weeks.
7 races
weeks.
left in the Cup.
7 weeks before we head to the chase.
Barely
And
over a month.
the Cup would have had a week off, but I put Pocono in it. So our second Pocono was the Cup week off. Because they ran the doubleheader. They had it scheduled a doubleheader at Pocono, remember?
Yeah, and we didn't want to do the doubleheader, so we moved it to the off week.
Right. But this week's halfway in the Cup. Halfway through segment 2 in the Cup this week.
And speaking of Cup, let's go ahead and take a look at our Cup bonus points here. Mike Coulong with the victory on Thursday night. And look at that, he is already up to 3 wins over there in that race win column. Excellent job. 3 victories since Mike has started running with us, and it's been we're 6 races in now to segment 2, and I believe he was only at about 4 races, I think. In that'd be right, 4 races in segment 1. So he made the last 4 races. He's got a total of 7 bonus points over there right now. 4 of them for the attendance in segment 1, the 4 races that he made. The other 3 for the victories that he's gotten so far. 2 wins out of this second segment, and he did get 1 win out of those 4 races that he ran in segment 1. So that's not bad at all. You know, he's 50% on wins right now for the races he's made in segment 2, and he won 1 of the 4 races he made in segment 1. 25% of those. So overall, a total of 4 and 4, a total of 8 races, and he's got 3 victories. That's almost 50%. That's pretty good, around almost 40% victory win ratio. That's a pretty good win ratio right there. We're gonna have to look out for Mike Coulong come the rest of this segment and the Cup chase once it hits. Even though he is going to be going in back a little ways, that doesn't mean much. He's only right now back by 19 points. Is that, what do I have? 28. So he's back by 21 points. Which is that's a little bit of a feat, but a few more wins, make a few more of those up, go into chase down by less than 20, and I have a bad race or two. That's all it takes. Blow a 4th gear, just like I did last year. So yeah, looks like Mayhem's sitting in second place.
I think you've got it all figured out on the way to not do it. So.
Oh yeah,
I think you'll do that.
I've got that figured out. If I could just figure out a way to do it.
All of that sounded really good. I like it.
So Mayhem currently in second here in the Cup Series bonus points, only backed by 4. Mayhem is last season's Cup Series champion, and I know he is looking to repeat this year. Would love to be that Cup Series champion once again. I would love to be that Cup Series champion once again as well. And SS Joba, another great driver, longtime BSR member, is right now sitting at 21 points, only 7 points off the lead as we get ready, halfway through segment 2, heading into the chase. Right now, he's only 7 points back. So SS Job is right there, going to be a contender for this chase championship as well. Pockets, you're not doing too bad in the Cup Series either. 20 bonus points so far, only backed by 8 going into the championship series. Who else do we have here? Looks like Momo, 17 back. Hot Rod also 17 back. Hot Rod, you're not doing too bad here in the Cup Series. You're holding your own right now.
I got something for everybody when we come chase time in the Cup. I got a couple wins last season in the chase, so yep.
Look at Palmy on the rookie, sitting up there with 16 bonus points right now. That's not too shabby. He's ahead of Gear Jammer and Eddie D. Eddie D with 14, Gear Jammer with 13. Bubba J down there with 15 bonus points. But shout out to Palmian, the rookie, one of the newer additions, and he's been here a little longer than like say Mike Coulong or Sean Fredericks, but Palmian literally just started racing this sim. I mean, he is literally a rookie. Of course, Gear Jammer and Eddie D are as well. They did start a little bit ahead of Palmian, have got more races under their belt and a little bit more experience. Palmian, the driver with the least amount of experience on track, actually not doing bad in the bonus points here in a Cup Series. So shout out to Palmian for that. That's an accomplishment, being as little track time as he has, just starting almost halfway through the season. When did Palmian join us? Was it about halfway into segment 1 or?
No, it was later than that. It was a couple weeks after Eddie, and Eddie's been here a year, so he's coming up on a year. He started right around here.
Was it that? Has it been that long? Was it the end of the season last season? Palmian did. He did run some races. I think started somewhere around the chase last year. And
he started like 3-4 races before the chase, and then ran the whole chase schedule, and then
and then the off season and this whole season so far.
Yep.
So he's starting to get a little experience under his belt, but compared to most of these guys that have been racing this sim since it came out, or some of us even before that in the 2002 version and even earlier versions than that. I started with 2002, and I know some of you guys out there were running the versions before. What was it? N2, N3. N3 was the last one before the 2002 version, wasn't it?
Yes.
Weren't you running in that, Pockets, N3 or N2?
No. I started in NASCAR race in 2003.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought you had started earlier than that. I know we do have some drivers in here, though, that did run the N2 and N3. And then
I have N3 over here brand new in the box.
Really?
Is it worth anything? Is it worth anything? It ain't never even been out of the box.
If it's never been out of the box, it might be. A collector's item by now.
Got a whole bunch of games never been. I got a whole bunch of stuff over here. I got a whole box full of crap.
Texan. Rookie's first Cup race was in the chase, the first week of the chase.
First week of the chase. That's one good thing. Hot Rod is on those stats. He knows where to find that stuff. Knows where to go. Since he does the points, keeps up with all these points, Hot Rod knows where to go to find pretty much any stat you might need. And first week of the chase. Of the Cup chase?
Well, that's the first Cup race he ran. Hang on, I'll go look at let me look at the trucks here.
Yeah, if that's the first Cup race he ran, then yeah, that would have been almost halfway through the truck chase, somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I'm going to look though. Hang on. If I can find it, I can't find it. There it is.
So we got Vito chiming in out there. He started October of last year. And wasn't he a little bit behind Gear Jammer and Eddie D?
Yes.
I know Eddie's anniversary was not last week, but the week before.
Yes.
That's his first one. Gear Jammers was probably be right around this week if I go look.
Well, I can tell you, I've noticed a pretty good difference uh, in Gear Jammer and Eddie D here in the past month or so. Uh, Definitely, I've noticed that their racing has improved, not only just in the way they race, the way they drive, the cleanness of the race, being able to finish the race, but how fast they are, how competitive they are at different points during the race. Definitely have stepped up their game with the track time that they've got and the experience they've got under their belt now. I've noticed a definite difference in their driving. And with about another 6 or 7 races left to go, depending on the series, before we hit the chase for these other 2 series, that's just that much more experience they're going to be able to get before we actually head into these championship series for the Thursday and Friday night series. However, it's time to step it up on Wednesday night, fellas, because Kentucky, this coming Wednesday, is going to start the Truck Series chase. And it's down to the last 10.
There you go.
So I think that's about all we got for you guys this week. Appreciate everybody tuning in out there. And all the great racing we had at Indianapolis. Looking forward to another great week. Last week we did have off Wednesday night and Saturday, so we only raced 2 nights last week. And this week we got another 4 nights of racing coming up. Kentucky, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll finish out season 41 of the team series on Saturday at Talladega. So we'll see all of you guys on the track at Kentucky Wednesday night.
Yes, Rookie's first official race in regular season would be September 12th of last year.
So he's got a couple of months before he's coming up on his anniversary.
Right, but he had ran, I can't go back to the team stats, but he had ran quite a few weeks in the team series before that, I'm sure. Because if you remember when he first got his wheel and stuff, he ran the team series a couple weeks before he actually started running in. He was practicing in them, but he didn't run any actual races for a couple weeks.
I
So
see Vito.
You were yelling at him to just go do it. Don't worry about it.
I see Vito out there. Back up, Terry. Back up. So did you stream that into yesterday, Pockets?
I did. I most certainly did.
What time you put my name in that, you prick? Come on,
How many times did I put your name in what?
Back up, Larry. Back up, Larry.
Yeah. That's why I was tired of that. That's why I hate that video. I got tired of that last year.
Well, I hope everybody did enjoy their holiday, 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to everybody. And once again, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the track Wednesday night in the trucks at Kentucky. Holla.
Holla.
Later.